Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fight Me Bro betting show. This week, we are breaking down UFC on ESPN 9, Tyron Woodley versus Gilbert Burns. And I don't know about you, Nick, but I'm getting a little itchy to get some betting in again. So I don't care that half this card I don't give a shit about. I just want to start gambling.
So I don't give a shit about half this card. But when I was looking it over for picks, there are some things. Now, I only have 3 picks, and these are probably the only 3 that I would fire off live on as well. That said, there's some decently juicy bets on here, which I will have on my card and explain. But that the odds didn't really make too much sense to me. So I think this is a decent one to ease us into, because I know the dates are so messed up because we're announcing fights like it's going out of style lately.
Yeah.
But 250 is next week, no?
250 is next weekend.
Okay, so that's a big one. So this is like an appetizer course for the main,
This
the
is
ribeye.
This is one of the cards that like you can bet a lot, but you're not going to necessarily build yourself a fucking deep hole. There's a lot of coin flips here. Like a lot would have to go bad. And now I just jinxed myself. I totally just jinxed myself, and I'm gonna be in a huge hole.
For the field.
Yeah, we're gonna be Anthony Smith, Glover Teixeira in the hole bad again. So whatever.
Dude,
good vibes.
You can't get in that hole too many times in one summer.
No,
you can financial quarter, let alone.
Exactly. Other than that, I think I'm doing pretty good for this new quarter that we're doing. But
that was the one card they buried it. That was bad. I think other than that, we both have been pretty spot on.
Yes.
Since coronavirus.
Exactly. It gave us it cleared our mind. It was allowed us able to find the winners. But the Anthony Smith one, that was a tough one because
it's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, that was more tough in real life than our actual picks. So it just depends on what you value more. And I guess internet life matters more. So I have 4 picks. Nick, you have 3. So I'll get started first. Mine starts earlier on the card. Bantamweight matchup: Luis Smoka versus Casey Kenny. I'm going Casey Kenny in this, minus 270, little bit steep, but I like Casey Kenny. He's got a couple big wins on him. He's beaten Manny Bermudez, beaten Ray Borg. I always appreciate a win over Ray Borg. And he's got a big statement loss. He lost to Dahashishvili. I don't know. The guy's a fucking tank. I remember the first time I saw him, I bet on Casey Kenny to beat him over Dahashishvili, and that dude's he's a Georgian tank, and everything I heard from him, he's like just an absolute monster. So in my head, statement loss. Luis Smoka isn't that guy. Luis Smoka is good, but he's a guy that's too comfortable to do jiu-jitsu. And I think with Casey Kenny, a guy that wants to take you down and ground and pound, like he's not going to be able to get the sub, and he's going to spend too much time on his back. So minus 270, a little bit steep. I'd maybe put it in early because I could see this line going up to maybe minus 300, in which that's fucking pushing it, but I like it here.
Yeah, don't hate that. Luis Smoka's. I feel like I bet on him maybe once or twice, and then I just stopped. I don't know how much longer his UFC run ran after that, but he just seems like a guy that is notorious. He loses bets.
Yes,
it just he doesn't resonate a lot with winning. I feel like.
I say this a lot. He's got cool name syndrome. Like you may not recognize him again, but you're like, Luis Smoka, that's a guy that wins, right? And then it's like, oh wait, no, I've lost on him. So
he is not. Okay, so my first one is my stuff's all a little bit towards the top, but first one we're going dog fishing. On this first one, this is one of the 2 where I couldn't believe the line. Like I actually had to refresh the page a couple times, thinking that this may have been an error. And while she's not great all around, she has some shoddy losses. But Hannah Cifers being plus 350 against Mackenzie Dern,
okay.
This is another classic instance of bet the number, don't bet the fighter, obviously. But Mackenzie Dern has yet to prove to me that she has a reliable way of getting fights to the ground. I know the Amanda Bobby Cooper fight was one where she finished by sub real quick, and it's like, oh, that's what Mackenzie Dern can do on the ground. But she winged a Hail Mary right hand over the top that knocked that girl down. That was not a double leg finish in any. So I haven't seen anything. And the other thing that I'm betting against Dern for, again, this is a lot more of a bet against Dern than a bet for Cifers. The real thing that going for Cifers is plus 350. I'm not sure Mackenzie Dern really cares about fighting all that much.
Yeah, true, but she does got a baby, and I don't know how much until she breaks out the OnlyFans, how much the Instagram is bringing in. So
I know, but what I'm saying is it needs to be proven to me that she cares, because she came in looking extra thick last fight, which is, aesthetically no one minds one bit, but she wasn't coming in looking like Wiley Zhang level ripped. Like the dedication is in question, if we want to put it that way. And Hannah Cifers just strikes me as one of those workwoman-like performances type people. I mean, she derailed that Poliana Viana hype train.
Sure.
I'm not feeling, if you're betting on Mackenzie Dern at minus 440 in this fight, you're crazy. So I'm just going to go the other way. And I'm just going to bank that Mackenzie Dern doesn't care about fighting. And this is one that I'm fully prepared, if she comes out and actually looks like she cares, then poo on my face. But for the time being, I'm going to make Mackenzie Dern. I think I've relegated her to, I'm going to bet against her until she gives me a reason to do otherwise.
This is when she just goes on a crazy run, and you're like,
yeah,
fuck.
Right.
I'm just, 9-fight
win streak.
I was really close to being considered one of those crazy people, but at the end of the day, that number is way too big. I like Hannah Cifers, but my next bet, I'm going Mackenzie Dern by submission minus 135. Solely because Hannah Cifers, I like her. I think she's got solid boxing. I think she's just too small for the weight class. And Mackenzie Dern's going to show up at least 7 pounds overweight. She's going to be coming in game day like 145 pounds versus someone that barely weighs 115.
Was she over on her last fight with
I think she made it
with Amanda Ribas?
I think she made that one. So if history shows us anything, like, water always finds its level, and that scale is always going to find a way to be over. So she's going to be massive. I think if Mackenzie Dern, like, they fucked up the first comeback, okay? They gave her someone too hard the first time. Again, Cifers is no slouch, but I think they're trying to give her a favorable matchup. It's like, okay, we'll give you a smaller person, someone that if you need to grapple, you can grapple. I don't hate the bet at like the plus 300 for the value, like 3-1 shot. Like, yeah, I think the fight should be closer to that, but at minus 135, I think if Mackenzie Dern wins, it's going to be on the ground. It's not going to be, because like we've seen Mackenzie Dern boxing, and it's pretty fucking ugly. Like it makes Francis Ngannou look like Floyd Mayweather out there. So
for sure trains boxing at title boxing.
Yes, exactly. It trains boxing. That might be giving her too much
credit.
Yeah, so she's going to be trying to go to the ground. Minus 135. I feel like that's reasonable. Again, if you're taking this at minus 400, which I need to replay this to myself, because there's a chance on Saturday after a few White Claws, I'm like, is Mackenzie Dern really going to lose? And then I'm going to be down a shitload of money.
What it's going to be dependent on is that Louis Smoker bet.
Yes, exactly.
Somehow Louis Smoker pulls off a win, it's going to be, well, okay, she's not actually going to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how many of these are actually going to be pulled off? But so everyone, do not listen to this right now. Do not bet Mackenzie Dern for the full amount. If you're going to do anything, do minus 135, and that's what I'm doing.
You know what else I didn't hate in that one, too? The little side bet. The over-under in that one's 1.5.
Ooh, that's a 1. Yeah, because I don't think.
Like minus 130.
Because I think people think she's just going to, like, Mackenzie Dern's just going to go out there and be able to immediately take her down and sub her. But, like, that's kind of not Mackenzie Dern's style, really. Like, it's going to be an ugly round 1, and then I think somewhere in round 2, like, if she finishes her, that's where it's going to be.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate that one, though. That's a good decent.
That'll probably take
full live bullets.
Game
so
days.
Then, okay, moving on up. We're going straight to the main event. This is almost like a cop-out pick, but I got to take Tyron Woodley over Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns on a tear. I got it. And the guy is obviously a savage. He's willing to compete in anything. I would be surprised if he started competing against Tyron Woodley on The Rock's new show that Tyron Woodley's on to compete. Mm-hmm. He's a madman. And all the credit of the world to Gilbert Burns for doing that. I just think, and this might be my stupid betting brain, I just don't know if I'm ready to live in a world where Tyron Woodley and Gilbert Burns are at the same caliber of fighter. Even if Tyron Woodley's stock's taken a hit these last couple of years, he got his ass beat by Usman. We've had some boring-ass fights with Wonder Boy and Damian Maia. And it's just – he really is he's fallen a lot from the days of when he was nuclear power punching Robbie Lawler's face-off type of a deal. I guess Falcon punching is probably a better word. We're a long way from that Tyron Woodley. But I just don't think he's that long of a way from that Tyron Woodley where I'm ready to start saying that Gilbert Burns is gonna do the job. I mean, I don't see him having really a lot of advantages standing, and I would be amazed to see how Gilbert Burns plans on getting Tyron Woodley to the ground.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to. And then it has also, like, people, for some reason, people forget the Darren Till fight. Like, that really wasn't that long ago. When they think about Tyron Woodley, they think about
the Darren Till
fight. They think about the Kamaru Usman and all that stuff. I'm like, Darren Till is a very good striker, and Tyron Woodley just dropped his ass, like, fucked him up, like, really bad. And I think Darren Till's a better striker than Gilbert Burns, at least at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm taking Tyron Woodley as well. What is it? Minus 185. I'm taking him.
That's not 75.
Oh,
get the extra dime in there.
Okay, and then I'm also taking him by TKO at plus 155. I think.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I think Tyron Woodley, like, his strategy has been wait for the big punch, and I think almost that win over Damian Maia might have been a bad thing for Durinho, because he's going to have a little too much confidence on the feet, and it is very easy to have a lot of confidence on the feet when you're piecing up Damian Maia. Damian Maia is not Tyron Woodley. Like, he hits a lot fucking harder. And also, like, kind of credit to Durinho's style, where it's like he's the type kill or be killed. And so if Tyron Woodley does win, I think he's going to catch him with something and, like, stun him. And also, it just seems like that's the way, like, you just think about UFC storylines and Tyron Woodley coming back and starching like the number 6 guy and then parading that around. Like,
wait a minute. Wait, Gilbert Burns is number 6?
I think so. Somewhere around that.
Jesus Christ, I am out of touch.
Where'd you think he was,
for
like,
a minute?
10?
Yeah.
Well, I think after the Maya, they jumped him up a lot. But yeah, I think he's around, like, the 6th spot. So, like, Tyron Woodley starching him and parading it around like he just beat the number 1 contender and deserves a title shot, and then shoving it down our throat being like title shot or nothing after just beating the number 6 guy. That just seems like a thing that's going to happen and be very annoying to put up with. So I'm betting my money on the annoying thing, minus 175 plus 155. So then now we're on to locks. You want to go first? You want me to go first? I think we kind of have
I wouldn't be surprised if we have the same one. Wait, is your lock an underdog?
Slight underdog?
Yes.
Yep.
Katlyn Chookagian.
Yep. Katlyn Chookagian.
This one confused the shit out of me. This is another one where I'm looking down the list, and we've dogged Katlyn Chookagian plenty of times on this show.
Plenty might be an understatement.
A bountiful amount of times. But I think that Jesus fucking Christ, guy, could you make your boat any louder? Here's the thing. As much as we ride her, I think a lot of that comes from the fact that her style is quite aesthetically unappeasing. That doesn't change the fact that, given her competition, her style is quite effective.
Yeah.
Like, she scores just enough points. If you actually had like a score, like a number score, like in basketball or some shit, Katlyn Chookagian would win every quarter by 1 to 2 points. But she's really fucking good at doing that.
Yeah, just enough to get by.
Right. Antonina Shevchenko just lost to Roxy Modafferi. That, I think we can stop there, probably.
That's the way I look at it. It's like, okay, which one of these people lost to, like, she has a loss from Roxanne. Chookagian does not have a loss to Roxanne. And I think Chookagian probably gives Roxanne the work. Antonina's just getting this, like, the line at minus 130 because she's a Shevchenko. And probably people are betting, like, just dumbasses that are, like, trying to get in on this. Like, they just want to get in on the action in Vegas. They're just like, oh, I'm going to just place some bets. They see Shevchenko. They're like, it must be better. I just don't see how you could go from being 1-1 in the UFC and then being favored over the person that just had a title shot. Granted, getting a title shot at 125 doesn't say a whole lot, but I still think it has some merit. And Chookagian has had some pretty solid wins and even some pretty solid losses where she was in the mix with some of the girls that are, like, up there in the weight class. And Antonina hasn't really showed me a skill set that says,
the best win is Lucy Pudilova.
Exactly. Who the fuck is that guy?
That guy. Oh, well, here you go. After doing some brief research, Lucy Podolova has lost to Justine Keach, Antonina Shevchenko, Liz Carmouche, Irene Aldana,
Mhm.
and Lena Landsberg, with only 2 wins coming in the last, what is that, 3 years? So
Mhm.
2 wins in the last 3 years, 4 losses, and one of those wins is against one of the people that uh, Antonina beat by a decision. Oh, her UFC debut, believe it or not.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, I hate to use MMA math.
Yep,
That
that's exactly my thought process.
nothing says casual like using MMA math to pick fights, but I, this one just doesn't add up. Like, we just haven't seen it from Antonina. We saw the one glimpse of her wrecking that chick in Dana White's Contender Series, but with the value or with the gift of hindsight, it
Mhm.
would very much appear that was a Nadia Kasem situation where they just threw that girl in there to get steamrolled
Yeah.
by a Shevchenko sister. And now they're just going to throw her in. And like you were saying, Katlyn Chookagian has like quality wins. And what she does well. She's just not as good as Valentina Shevchenko. So she's going to get knocked the fuck out in that fight 99 times out of 99. But in terms of get out, set up jab, throw flinging kicks, score just enough points, I'm missing where she's not going to be able to do that here, especially because neither of these girls go, and they're not going and swinging for the Kingdom Cup. Like, this is not going to be an Amanda Nunes Cyborg deal, right? They both kind of sit around. The major difference would be that Chookagian actually knows in the back of her head, this is the amount of volume I need to put out to win rounds.
Yeah.
Shevchenko does not know that.
She's got a good feel of being able to know if she like won the round or not, which is like one of the most frustrating things when the person doesn't have that, where you could tell they think they won the round and you're like, no, you need to do like one more combination. It's like, give it up to Katlyn. She does know that. And plus, I think on the mental side, there's got to be something mentally that's just, okay, you just went in there with their sister. Granted, you got fucked up, but you're like, this is obviously a step down. So you could like, and also a huge slap in the face. It's always like, okay, you're just going to give me this girl's sister. Like, so I think it's either more motivation and also like lack of fear. It's like, what's the worst that's going to happen? It's not going to be fucking Valentina. So like, I don't know. I wouldn't be scared at all. So
I wonder if in the promo to this fight, I wonder how many times they run the package of her getting knocked out by the sister in order to be like, to present the case. See, this is interesting. What, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with this fight.
Also, people are going to be like, see, Valentina knows how to beat her. She can tell Antonina how to beat her. It's like,
that's 100% going to happen.
And it's going to be like, okay, Valentina is also one of the best fucking fighters in the world. That doesn't mean she could just transfer that over to her sister.
There's some other MMA tout on Twitter that's writing that article right now, talking about how having Valentina in camp is going to be useful of fighting Katlyn Chookagian. That was 100% some article that's
this line is like so glaringly obvious that I'm scared it's a trap line because I'm but it's plus 110, so even if it is, man, I'm going heavy. I'm going like probably like 3 units on it because it's
this is one you break the bank on for sure. More so even than the Tyron Woodley, even though I almost switched these, but I figured that's just stupid betting. If you could take an underdog that you're that confident in, why would you not lock that up as opposed to the near minus 200? But 100% agree. I mean, it's just, this is one you load up on because this seems like wrong. It almost seems like there's like arbitrage somewhere.
I'm probably gonna, as soon as this call's over, I'm gonna fucking place the bet in right now, and then I'm gonna get drunk on Saturday and forget I placed the bet, and then probably
triple back in.
Yeah, exactly. Which, for better or worse, is always an interesting time. So
I also don't know what the over/under on this is, but everyone just take over. This
dude,
fight
it's nuts. It's like I think it was the over is like over 2.5, like minus 400 or something like that.
Okay. Well, maybe not, but this is like that. I mean, you could write that in blood that this is going to go to the cards.
It might, like, it's fucking stupid betting, but if you parlay Chookagian by decision and the over, because like Chookagian by decision is only like plus 120. It's crazy. It's like so pointless, but like it's probably going to go to decision, and my bet is Katlyn. So that's our show today. Short and sweet. I like those bets a lot. Tweet us out your